Welcome to jetNEXUS tutorials for fast, scalable and resilient applications. Tutorial 5 is about adding a second virtual service to an existing virtual IP address. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so the idea of this tutorial is to add a service to an existing IP address. We must click Add Port for this to work properly. If we click Add IP, it will expect a unique IP address, and when we click Add Port, it fills out the existing IP address and subnet mask for us, which we can add a port. And in this instance, we've added port 81, so another service. We've given it a service name of Web Cookie Persistence because we're going to add that in later. We've also chosen service type HTTP, and now we're adding an additional server. Remember, when you press enter, when you choose the service type, it will automatically focus on the real server section. So now I'm going to add in web server 2, and like previous tutorials, we're just going to add 3 web servers. They're all listening on port 80, so even though the service is listening on port 81, we're doing port address translation because the servers are listening on port 80. So let's add the final one in, web server 3, again port 80, and this time I'll get the number convention right. Web server 3 is 213. Now, because the default load balancing policy is least connections, when we go to that service, which is on port 81, you'll see load balancing from all 3 servers. So web server 3, web server 1, web server 2. So we must go into the basic tab, change the load balancing policy to something like ALB session cookie, where we actively insert a cookie into the HTTP stream, and then we will act on that cookie. So we'll load balance to one of those servers according to least connections first, and then based on the cookie. And Chrome is very pernicious with caching images and objects, so we have to do Control F5 for a lot of times, and now we can see we've got persistence to website 1. Thanks for watching, and please check out the rest of the series from the links below. There's also a link to get your very own ALBX free trial.